más falling, his courage he grew in their golden.
Oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, I sure hot and cold.
A rig of our Dublin, Mother me, Jolie, and not Jackson, Ron, you might miss me, they got here. His courage he grew in their golden.
Oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, I sure hot and cold.
And that was great Tennessee, and Denver, great in a goal not falling, it's crazy, Ruiger goal.
Oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva, Hawalia, oh, Roshilva.
And I'm trying to it's in a turn. Are we here to say? No way! No way! No way! No way! No way!
One event, we estimate bills of up to €900. That message started to get through, so the government in panic, following the huge march on October the 11th, and also we have to give credit as well to the Anti-Austerity Alliance. The victory of the AAA in the by-election in Dublin South West sent them into a panic as well. And they tried to move them to this new proposal. We have to make sure in 10 days' time, when the bills start dropping in people's doors, we get the message out to all those who don't come to meetings, who can't come to protests, be they the elderly, be they people with very young kids, or whatever. We have to give them confidence not to pay the bills, because we can't get the water charges abolished unless we achieve huge levels of non-payment. We have to make this financially unviable, make sure the hungry beast of Irish water is not fed and that it starves. But also, we have to make sure any new government that will be in power by next year, made up of any party, no matter what they're saying now that they'll abolish it, they won't abolish it unless people aren't paying it. Because we know the Troika will twist their arms, like they twisted the arms of this government for the last 6 years. And we have to make sure it's politically impossible for any future government to continue on with the water charges. How we do that is, we have to go into our communities, we have to go into all the communities around the country and argue for non-payment. We have to convince the 20% of people who are not sure whether they're paying that there is a risk-free proposition in front of them. There's no penalties for non-payment of the water charges for 1 whole year plus 3 months, by which stage there'll be a new government in power. And imagine the pressure that new government will be under if for 1 whole year people have refused to pay the water charges. It will be practically impossible for them to continue with them. That's the project that we all have to now put our shoulders to the wheel to achieve. It's very simple, whether you have a meter, whether you don't have a meter. We have to focus now on building mass non-payment of the water charges. The second issue that I think needs to be highlighted, we want to use this fantastic movement against the water charges to build a new political project. Now last week, a new party was launched. It got a full year of free publicity from the billionaire-owned media. They practically set a path for the party to be launched. Everyone else has to fight for the attention, but Lucinda and co were encouraged for a whole year, front page spreads, middle page spreads, what Lucinda had for her breakfast, what she had for her dinner, what she's wearing to Mass on Sunday. It was never ending. And the point about it was to set up a new right-wing rump that would be a coalition appendage for Fine Gael when Labour is destroyed. That's what that's about. to tell the millionaires and the speculators behind that Renewal project. There's nothing new about it. I'm old enough to remember the PDs. It's the same thing, with one difference. There's backwards as the Legion of Mary when it comes to social issues. They would take this country back to the Magdalene laundries, mother and baby homes, and the Catholic Church's wish running on social issues. We don't need a party of that kind. We need a progressive party that will fight for women's rights, that will fight for the right to be oppressed, not fight for the rights of the privileged, who are already very well represented, thank you, in Leinster House. So I'm appealing to people here today. Take the smile off the faces of Eddie Hobbs, Lucinda, Enda, and a lot of them. Join with the Anti-Austerity Alliance in building a new movement. A movement of working class people, of ordinary people. Workers, the unemployed, pensioners and young people who are being offered no future whatsoever in this country. They're being shown emigration as the only option. We have to demand, we create the wealth in society. It's us who go out to work every day. We keep the hospitals going, we keep the schools going, the factories going, the shops, etc., etc. We are the real power in society, as was shown last Friday in Northern Ireland with the one-day public sector strike. We should commend those workers for taking a stand against the beginnings of austerity in the north, which was signed up to by every single party installment.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger. The announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence and the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors, for as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it.
The report is that the president is dead. The word we have is that he is dead, that he was shot by an assassin at the intersection of Elm and Houston Streets just as he was going into the underpass. The word we have is from a doctor on the staff of Parkland Hospital who says that it is true. He was in tears when he told me just a moment ago.